Welcome to week 6 of leadership. I hope that you are getting a lot out of this and becoming a better leader. Last week we talked about Who Moved My Cheese. Don't know if you had a chance to go get that from the library or order it. Today at the end of this lesson we are going to look at a book called E-Myth Revisited: Why Most Small Businesses Don't Work and What You Can Do About It. And we'll talk about that in just a little bit. Why do we sometimes get stuck in life and in leadership? Reasons will be different for everyone depending on where you are in life. But if you ask me, I will tell you that I get stuck, especially in the leadership and goal area of my life, because I'm now learning how to actually become a better leader and work consciously on my goals. I thought for the longest time that I was a great leader, so I didn't have anything to work on. But if you know me, and you will know that I actually am gifted as a motivated leader, but to manage people in leadership, in a leadership position, is my downfall. I realized when we owned the pizzeria that I was great at getting people to become a great leader. I was great at talking to people when they were trying to get jobs and everything. But when I actually was the person in charge of those people every day, trying to provide a product, I realized very quickly that I needed to learn how to become a better leader in myself in order to equip and empower those that actually worked underneath me. And as I said just a little while ago, we're going to look at this E-Myth Revisited: Why Most Small Businesses Don't Work. I wish I had gotten this book before I started the pizzeria and before I started a lot of my entrepreneurial jobs. I think it would have saved me a lot of headaches. So we'll talk about this in just a little bit. But here's where the rubber meets the road. What do you do with the information? What did I do with the information? Because it was eye-awakening when it was presented to me. Actually, I was doing this study. I was writing and rewriting this study when we had the restaurant, and after that, and I realized how much in leadership I didn't know and how much I needed to grow as a leader. But that also came from a point of, I need to be honest with myself. Do I really want to change? Some people will say, no, I'm happy with who I am. I'm happy where I'm at. But for me, I want to change. I want to become a better person in life and in leadership. I want to become a person who people will want to follow, not just because I motivationally can get them to do stuff, but because I'm worth somebody following. And so there's a difference. So here's your rubber meets the roads. What are you going to do with this information? Are you going to do the soul searching like I did? Or are you just going to say, yeah, whatever, and keep right on it going? This week we're going to talk about road closed, brick walls, and speed bumps. So if you see a road closed sign, if you're a risk taker, you will probably go around the sign and say, that doesn't apply to me. Well, there's a problem. There is a reason for this road closed. Now, it could be just because there's a tree in the middle of the road and it's going to be out before that afternoon. And usually there's a bridge out. They're working on something. There's a big hole in the road. And it's your choice whether or not you go around that brick wall or if you obey the signs. Brick wall. There is no getting around this brick wall unless you use some dynamite to blow it up. Now, unfortunately, sometimes we want to get around that brick wall so bad that we actually use dynamite to blow up the issue. Did you hear that? We actually use dynamite to blow up the issue. We just don't think about the facts afterwards, the cleanup or the damage that is done to others while the pieces are flying. Think about that in regards to life and relationships and leadership. Scary, isn't it, how many times we do that and we don't even realize it. When I was in sales, my boss used to say, Meredith, you are a bull in a china shop. I go behind you picking up all the damage you create. Now, for the longest time, I didn't hear that last part. I go behind you picking up all the damage you create. I just heard that I was a bull in a china shop, and I just thought that meant I was a great leader. I was great at getting the best deal for my clients because I was in real estate. Just thought it was great. But it wasn't until recently that I realized that was not a compliment and that I actually hurt a lot of people in the process. A speed bump. Why do we have speed bumps or speed humps in the roads? And the reason is not to make you mad. The only reason is to slow you down. They are usually found in parking lots or neighborhoods. So what does this mean to you in your life? Just a little story. We were in the Dominican Republic in 2011 on a mission trip, and there are actually speed bumps in the middle of the highways periodically with people with guns facing you. Okay. Now, the car that was in front of us was a truck, and he was the lead car, and he's from there, and he didn't slow down for the speed bump. And then all of a sudden, all we saw was all of our luggage go whoop and come back down in the car. And us, who were in the van behind him, which was very loaded down with a lot of people, luckily we saw, so we slowed down, proceeded cautiously and over, because if we had done that same thing, we were a much heavier vehicle. There's no telling what would have happened when we hit that speed hump going at that rate of a speed. So, speed bumps are put in our way to slow us down, to proceed with caution. Unfortunately, in my sales career, I did not regard speed humps or speed bumps with the respect they deserved. I became the bull in the china shop. So let's go back to a road closed for a second. At the beginning of the road, you're going to see a slatted sign like this, and it's going to tell you that you can't go down this road. In some cases, the road are closed can be for a day or it can be longer depending on the damage of the road or if there's other damage in the surrounding area. But let's look at this in relation to leadership. First, you need to see if the road closed is there so that you can get a few things right in your life. Or is the bridge out because of all the damage, it can never be fixed? And if you head down that road, you'll plummet to the bottom of the ravine. So think about something that you are trying to accomplish. And if the road is closed forever, therefore you need to find a new way to get to your goal. The thing about roads being closed, there's always a detour sign, but the choice is yours. Do you choose to follow the detour? Or do you say something like this? Oh, I got this. I know a shortcut. The issue with saying I know and I got this and I know a shortcut is that years later, you will finally find yourself back on the road to success or that goal, a degree, whatever it is. It's all how you look at the road closed. Is if you see it as a learning experience, then the detour won't be so bad. With the road closed, is it removable with more training, a better attitude, or again, there's blanks to fill it in because not everybody fits into a mold with leadership? Or is the road going to be closed for a very long time due to the bridge being out and it's not able to be fixed? And so you need to look for an alternate route, which we don't like to do. Remember, we get into that comfortable, are we hem and haw and we get comfortable and we're just going through life. And when this road closed hits us, we just don't even know what to do. So scenario, think of a road being closed because the tree had fallen. This is no big deal. The tree company is going to come out and remove it by the end of the day. Unfortunately, you see the road sign, the sign that says road closed. And because of your attitude, now think about this. This is us all the time if we're going to be honest with ourselves. We sit there paralyzed with fear to try something new that we never move. We just sit there. For example, though, we're going to use this scenario. We were late for work, we lost our job, and now you don't know which way to go. I know it's very extreme, right? This was a very small issue. We blew it out of proportion. and it ended up having a lasting effect. We lost our job. If we had just stopped, taken a deep breath, focused, we would have seen the detour sign. We'd gone down a couple of streets and then back on the main road and off to work. Question though. Think about your past, or maybe even yesterday, when something blocked your day and you thought it was the end of the world. Am I only talking to myself? Let's stop and think about some blocks in our lives that were just speed humps or speed bumps that were there, that we made it a road closed, or worse yet, a brick wall. How many brick walls do we make into road closed and waste years trying to make something work that was never intended to work in your life? The next time you see a roadblock in your life, you need to ask yourself, is it something that I just need to detour around for the day or two? Is it going to be closed forever and it's really a brick wall and I need to find a new way? Or is it a speed bump and I just need to proceed with caution? Think about it. All right, so easy to happen. If we do not have the right people in our lives holding us accountable, how many times we allow roads that are closed to become permanent fixtures in our lives. You might say, yeah, I've tried that before and it did not work, so I'll never try it again. Maybe it was just not your time to get that promotion. Maybe there was a better job that better fit your temperament, but your boss knew that. But because of your attitude, oh wait a minute, your bad attitude when you didn't get the promotion, when the second promotion came available, you were overlooked. Let me read that again. Maybe it was not your time to get that promotion. Maybe there was a better job that better fit your temperament, and your boss knew that. But because you had a bad attitude when you were not promoted the first time, when the second promotion came available, you were overlooked. Why were you overlooked? Because you were still grumbling about the road closed, that you did not see that it had been removed, and you could have driven down that road again. So what possible road closed signs might you need to work through? What steps could be taken to overcome the road closed that would increase your chances to secure a job in that occupation, receive a promotion, to be better suited for a leadership position in a church or a civic organization, or enhance a relationship? See, this all works together. It's not just about becoming the greatest leader. It's in relationship, it's in life, it's in everything that we do, whether we're an employee or we're the boss. Remember that God is using your circumstances to position and prepare you to accomplish His vision in your life. God is using your circumstances to position and prepare you to accomplish His vision for your life. Do you believe that God uses every part of your life to accomplish His vision for your life? If not, if you do not, why? Ephesians 2, 8 through 10. For it is by grace that you have been saved through faith. It is not of from yourselves, it is the gift of God. Not by works so that anyone can boast, for we are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus, to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do. So this verse says that we were made for a purpose. What is it? What is it? Remember also in Ephesians 2, 8 and 10, I like to paraphrase it this way in our New Beginnings book, which is the foundational piece of the 180 program. For we are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do. God makes no junk. If you're thinking you can't become a good leader because of your past, because there's something that you've done wrong, Yes, maybe you need to go back and fix it. Maybe you need to go back and apologize. Maybe you need to look for forgiveness. But to use your past because you can't get to a better future is an excuse. I don't care what you've done in your past. All I care about is what you want to do tomorrow. What future do you want to have tomorrow? If I didn't believe that, then I wouldn't be doing these videos. I wouldn't have gone to studio and done the 8-week video series on the New Beginnings class. I would have quit. I would have quit in 2011 when the gangs took a hit out on me. I still don't have feeling in my face. But yet every week I get up and I go and I teach. I teach in prisons. I teach in jails. I teach in places that are very dark places because I believe that people can become something great. So we're going to end this week's lesson with the E-Myth Revisited, why most small businesses don't work and what to do about it. Now, I know last week I said I like short little books. Remember Who Moved My Cheese? Well, yes, this is a little bit thicker, but it was very pertinent and very what I needed. Again, I wish I would have had it before I started a lot of my small businesses. And it's also fun if you can find a group to do it with. Locally here, we've had a bank that would have a group of business leaders that would come in once a week in the morning, and we would do it as a group and learn from other business leaders. So I really suggest that you get a copy of this and do it as a group study with somebody. So here we go. This part of this, it's called The Skinny Guy and the Fat Guy, and there's a little bit about it in this book. So Gerber writes about how each of us has different personalities inside and how they can work against us. Is it any wonder we have such a tough time keeping our commitments to ourselves? It's not that we're indecisive or unreliable. It's that each and every one of us is a whole new set and different personalities, each with its own interest and way of doing things, and asking any of them to defer to any of the other is inviting a battle or even a full-scale war. Anyone who has ever experienced the conflict between the fat guy and the skinny guy, and haven't we all, knows what I mean. We can't be both. One of them has to lose, and they both know it. The book goes on to tell how the skinny guy wakes up. Let's take a look at the two personalities we're all familiar with, the fat guy and the skinny guy. Have you ever decided to go on a diet? You're sitting in front of the television on a Saturday afternoon watching an athletic competition, awed by the athletes' stamina and dexterity. You're eating a sandwich your second since you sat down to watch the event 2 hours before. You feel sluggish and even face all the action on, feeling sluggish in the face of all the action on the screen when suddenly somebody wakes up. In you and says, "What are you doing? Look at yourself. You're fat. You're out of shape. Do something about it." So the skinny guy takes over. It has happened to all of us. Somebody wakes up inside with a totally different picture of who we should be and we should be doing and what we should be doing. In this case, we're going to call him the skinny guy. Who's the skinny guy? He's the one who uses words like discipline, exercise, organization. The skinny guy is intolerant, self-righteous, a stickler for detail, a compulsive tyrant. The skinny guy abhors the fat guy, can't stand sitting around, needs to be on the move, and lives for action. The skinny guy has just taken over. Watch out, things are going to change. Gerber writes how the world changes right before your eyes. And before you know it, you're cleaning all the fattening foods out of your refrigerator. You're buying a new pair of running shoes, barbells, and sweats. Things are going to be different around here, and you have a new lease on life. You plan your physical regimen, up 5, 3 miles, run 3 miles, cold shower at 6, breakfast of wheat toast, black coffee, half grapefruit, then ride your bicycle to work, home by 7, another 2 miles, bed at 10, and the world's ready for a different place. Gerber writes how the skinny guy gets results. And you actually pull it off. By Monday, you've lost 2 pounds. You go to sleep dreaming of winning the Boston Marathon. Why not? The way things are going, it's only a matter of time. Tuesday night, you get on the scale. Another pound gone. Incredible. Gorgeous. You're a lean machine. Gerber writes how the dejection happens. On Wednesday, you really pour it out. You work out an extra hour in the morning, an extra half hour at night. You can't wait to get on the scale. You strip down to your bare skin, shivering on the bathroom, filled with expectation on what your scale is going to tell you, and you step lightly onto it and look down, and what do you see? Nothing. You haven't lost an ounce. You're exactly the same as you were on Tuesday. Dejection creeps in. You begin to feel that slight twinge of resentment. After all that work, after all that sweat and effort, and then nothing? It isn't fair. But you shrug it off. After all, tomorrow's a new day. You go to bed vowing to work harder on Thursday, but somehow something has changed. You don't know what's changed until Thursday morning. It's raining. The room is cold. Something feels different. What is it? Wait for a minute or two. You can't quite put your finger on it. And then you get it. Somebody else is in your body. The fat guy. He's back. And so when the skinny guy decides to change things, we actually believe that's it. I who is making the decision. And when the fat guy wakes up and changes it all back again, we think it's I who's making the decision too. But if it isn't I, it's we. Lessons learned from the fat guy and the skinny guy. I think too many times in leadership, we think we're going to change overnight. So we start and we hit the ground running and we think it's going to be great. And then we get that first no. We get that first dejection. And then we immediately go back to our old ways of thinking. You need to understand that if this is going to last, if this leadership is going to be a part of who you are, then you need to see it for what it is. It is not a sprint. It is a marathon. Did you know that if you wake up tomorrow and decide to run a marathon on Thursday, Friday, whatever day it is the next day, it's probably going to kill you unless you're some kind of physically fit. Our bodies can't do that. We can't do that. You have to train. There are websites out there that tell you what to do, how to do, how much training, build up your stamina so that you can run a half marathon or a marathon by a certain date. Because it takes effort. It takes perseverance. It takes us being disciplined in ourselves. So you need to look at leadership as that marathon race. Take it slow. Don't go out and buy everything new tomorrow, but slowly change one thing every day so that you can become that better leader. In your packet, you'll see a picture, and there's the words, and it says, it's all put together, and the bottom of it says, what do you see? Because you will either see opportunity is now here, or opportunity is nowhere. The choice is yours. And to help you learn this even more for your own life, you need to find someone this week that is sitting paralyzed in front of a detour or a road closed sign and share your hope that you learned with them today. Do you know why you teach someone else something that you learned? Because it reinforces what you learned in your own brain and life so that you'll remember it. Let me read that again. Let me tell you that again. Part of your homework is that you need to find somebody that's sitting dead paralyzed in front of a road closed or a detour, whatever, and help them. Tell them what you've learned about yourself. Be honest. Because by teaching someone else what you have learned, it reinforces it in your brain so that you will remember it. I'm hoping that by week 6, you're still with me, that you're enjoying this. Again, at the end of where you get your packets and watch this this video, there are there is a comment or a section where you can contact us. I hope you will. I hope you'll tell us what you're learning. We would love to hear from you. But until next week, have a great day and a great week, becoming a great leader for yourself, for your family, and for others.